Daniel thought distance would solve everything. A few uncomfortable conversations, little space, chance to breathe. But what if the person he was trying to escape refused to stay away? In Genoa City, avoiding Phyllis isn't just difficult, maybe impossible. And now, Daniel could be facing a reality he never wanted to confront, because the walls are closing in faster than anyone expected. For months, Daniel has struggled under the weight of family drama. Every time he tried to move forward, another emotional storm seemed to appear. And at the center of so many of those storms stood Phyllis. She wanted to help. She wanted to protect him. But was her version of protection actually pushing him away? The answer might be more disturbing than it seems. Daniel isn't a child anymore. He's a grown man trying to build his own life, make his own decisions, and recover from painful mistakes. Yet every path he chooses somehow leads back to his mother's influence. Was it concern? Was it control? Or was it something even more complicated? That's when the warning signs started becoming impossible to ignore. Think about it. How many times has Daniel tried to create boundaries only to watch them disappear? Every attempt to gain independence seems to trigger another emotional reaction from Phyllis. The harder he pulls away, the harder she appears to hold on. And viewers are beginning to notice the pattern. Before we go further, if you're enjoying this deep dive into Y&R drama, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with fellow soap fans, because what happens next could change everything. At first, Daniel believed he still had options. He could keep conversations short. He could avoid difficult topics. He could focus on work and personal healing. Simple enough, right? But life in Genoa City rarely follows simple rules. And one unexpected development may have ruined his entire strategy. Recently, the emotional distance between mother and son has felt smaller than ever. Not because Daniel wants it that way, because circumstances keep forcing them together. Every crisis creates another reason for interaction. Every problem becomes another excuse for involvement. And that cycle may be exactly what Daniel fears most. Here's where things get interesting. The more Daniel tries to protect his peace, the more people around him encourage reconciliation. Friends, family, even those who understand his frustration. Many believe he should give Phyllis another chance. But what if Daniel sees something they don't? That possibility raises an even bigger question. What if Daniel's greatest struggle isn't anger? What if it's guilt? Deep down, he may know Phyllis genuinely loves him. Yet love doesn't erase damage. And damage doesn't disappear just because someone has good intentions. Could guilt be trapping him in a situation he desperately wants to escape? Nobody seems ready for that conversation. Then came the first major twist. Instead of creating more distance, Daniel's recent choices may have accidentally strengthened Phyllis's position in his life. The very actions meant to establish independence could be creating new opportunities for contact. Talk about an unintended consequence. And that was only the beginning of the problem. Imagine trying to move on while constantly being reminded of the past. Every memory, every regret, every unresolved argument. For Daniel, Phyllis represents all of it. No matter where he turns, pieces of that history remain waiting for him. But one hidden factor makes the situation even more complicated. Relationships in Genoa City rarely exist in isolation. Everyone is connected. Every decision creates ripple effects. When Daniel avoids Phyllis, he isn't just avoiding one person. He's navigating an entire network of emotional consequences. Who could he really trust when loyalties are constantly shifting? The answer may surprise everyone. Meanwhile, Phyllis appears more determined than ever. She's not the type to surrender. If she believes her son needs her, she'll fight for a place in his life. That persistence can be admirable, can also be overwhelming. And Daniel may be reaching his breaking point. The pressure isn't only external. Some of the biggest battles happen inside Daniel's own mind. Part of him wants freedom. Part of him wants peace. And another part may still want the mother he wishes Phyllis could become. That emotional conflict changes everything. Then another possibility emerged. What if Daniel isn't truly avoiding Phyllis? What if he's avoiding the emotions she forces him to face? That's a completely different story. Because running from a person is difficult. Running from your own feelings is nearly impossible. And that realization could alter the entire narrative. Suddenly, every interaction takes on new meaning. The awkward silences, the tense conversations, the moments when Daniel seems ready to walk away but doesn't. Was this just coincidence? Or were hidden emotions influencing every decision he made? The clues may have been there all along. Viewers have watched Daniel evolve through heartbreak, disappointment, and personal setbacks. Each experience shaped him. Each wound left a mark. Now those scars are affecting how he responds to Phyllis. But scars don't only influence the present. Sometimes they predict the future. And the future looks increasingly uncertain. The more emotionally isolated Daniel becomes, the fewer escape routes remain. Support systems can weaken. Options can disappear. Circumstances can change overnight. Could he soon find himself with nowhere left to run? The evidence is becoming harder to dismiss. Here's what makes the situation so fascinating. Neither Daniel nor Phyllis may be entirely right. And neither may be entirely wrong. Both carry pain. Both carry regrets. Both believe they're protecting something valuable. That's exactly why this conflict feels so dangerous. Then came the most shocking possibility of all. What if fate is pushing them toward a confrontation neither can avoid? Not another argument. Not another misunderstanding. A genuine reckoning. The kind that forces every secret, fear, and resentment into the open. And once that happens, there's no going back. Imagine Daniel finally saying everything he's been holding inside. No filters. No hesitation. No emotional escape hatches. How would Phyllis react? Would she listen? Would she change? Or would the situation explode in ways nobody anticipated? That question hangs over everything. The tension keeps building because avoidance has limits. Sooner or later, every unfinished story demands an ending. Every buried emotion finds a voice. Every closed door eventually opens. Daniel may have spent months delaying the inevitable. But delay isn't the same as resolution. And here comes the revelation that changes the entire picture. Daniel may not be running out of ways to avoid Phyllis because she's chasing him. He may be running out of ways because life itself keeps forcing their paths together. Every event, every crisis, every emotional crossroads. It's as if destiny refuses to let the story end unfinished. And that's where everything truly changes. If that's true, then the next chapter becomes far more unpredictable. Confrontation could heal old wounds, or it could create new ones. Relationships could strengthen, or they could shatter permanently. The stakes have never felt higher, and someone may be about to make a choice they'll regret forever. So here's the haunting question. When Daniel finally runs out of places to hide, what happens next? Will he find peace with Phyllis? Will old resentments erupt into an emotional disaster? Or will a shocking revelation expose truths neither of them is prepared to face? Because if the signs are pointing where many fans think they are, the biggest explosion in this story may still be waiting around the corner.